Yo, what's up, YouTube? It's your boy, and I'm back with another video, man. And you already know what I need you to do. Hit the subscribe, hit the like, hit the notification bell, man, because it does go a long way with helping out the channel. If this is your first time, welcome to Hold My Nuts Podcast. We talk about everything semen retention and no fap. If you stumbled across this channel, it's no accident. I already know why you're here. You're tired of being manipulated and dominated by female culture. You are in the right place. If you already been rocking with your boy, man, you already know the love is real, man. It is officially 11:20 p.m. and it is August 6th. And I say, you know what? I'm putting out a video, man. I was down for a couple of days. I had to do some live streams, but those live streams turned out great. So I say, you know what? Let me do another video, man. And I wanted to do this video in response to me rewatching the classic, The Godfather. And the character that I want to hone in on is Michael Corleone. And I was impressed with his presence in the movie. And what I liked about his presence in the movie, and this is just what I be trying to tell you guys in regards to staying on your center, not being easily knocked off of your center, not being thrown to and fro because of outside external things that are going on, but to really be rock solid. And I got a video coming out tomorrow. These videos might release on the same day, I'm not sure, but they're gonna be coming out relatively soon, about outgrowing your problems. And when I watch Michael Corleone in this Godfather series, I'm impressed with his ability to be able to control his emotions and to not make rash decisions and do things that will cause him an immediate injury. You know what I mean? Semen retention is something that we do to practice discipline. And it's a discipline that we're practicing to overcome a very, very, very powerful urge that is in most cases very impulsive. Watching porn is impulsive. You can pull that stuff up whenever you want, and just going and barking at the females, very impulsive. You know what I mean? So if you want to get things done, you want to accomplish things, you have to formulate, you have to cultivate a discipline that will allow you to combat those things. And I think that will carry over into you being able to control your emotions, you being able to control the circumstances. Ecclesiastes talks about, not being, hasty to be angry. Don't be quick to get angry. You know what I mean? Anger abounds in the bosom of fools. And anger can get you jacked up. When you look at Sonny in The Godfather, he got jacked up. He got killed because he could not control his anger. He was in such a rage. He jumped in his car. He went driving to see whoever he needed to see and led him right to the trap, and they shot him up. Right? Michael would have got that same news, he would have got that same information, and he would have actually thought it through. He would have formulated a plan in his mind to go after and accomplish and defeat this foe that he had. So guys, we really have to practice these different forms of personal development. One of the worst things that you can experience as a human being is being controlled by, or not being, is being controlled by your emotions. That's a horrible way to live. That's a horrible feeling. And you never want to be, you always want to be in control of your emotions. Always. That's why you have to take time to meditate. You have to take time to center yourself. You have to take time to ground yourself so that, you have a preventative outlook on your day. You've already set the tone for your day. You set the tone that you're not going to be out here, wasting your sexual energy. You set the tone that you're not going to be out here allowing people to pull you into unnecessary dramas. You've set the tone for the day that whatever problems arise that day, you're going to handle them not in a hasty, negative way, but you're going to accept them for what they are, evaluate, formulate a plan, and you're going to deal with them accordingly. Michael Corleone in The Godfather shows us exactly how to do this. You have enemies, you have foes, you have people who are just trying to get things out of you. You got people trying to stab you in the back. You have people trying to get you caught up in your speech, get you caught up in your words. That's why it's important not to be a chatty patty. You have to understand who you're around. You got to understand what you can say, what you can't say around certain people. People are evil, people are devious, and no one's out to help you for the most part, right? So you have to be on your A game. In order to really see and understand, you have to take a step back. You have to take a step back. You have to take a step back and you have to evaluate situations. You have to be able to read them from a mile away. You have to be able to read people. You have to trust your intuition. Your intuition is never going to lead you astray. Your intuition is always telling you the truth. It's always telling you the truth. And when you can blot out the noise, I did a video a couple days ago on the power of silence, being able to silence the noise around you, cut the radio off, turn off all of the, social media, and, just give yourself time to hear nothing. So you can hear that internal voice inside of you, giving you guidance, telling you what it is you need to do. That's God. That is your intuition. That is your guiding light. It's giving you information, but it's hard to hear it when everything is surrounding you. Michael Corleone is in this movie, The Godfather. He's showing us how not to be hasty, how not to rush to conclusions. You got to investigate. You have to investigate, and you have to have the patience to wait for the answers. You have to have the patience to wait for the answer. This is all part of self-development. If you really want to get a grip on your emotions, watch The Godfather, man. I think that's a great movie, especially if you have an anger problem. Watch The Godfather. There's more lethal ways to deal with the foe than to be hasty in anger. It is, man. I would say this is a movie you should watch. It's a movie you should watch. I love the movie. The movie was actually, I haven't seen this movie in a long time. Almost pretty much forgot about it. When I saw it, I think I was a young kid, man. I wasn't really paying attention to it like that. But just going back and watching it this past week, it was a good. I liked it, and it inspired me. It inspired me to continue on my journey of personal development, reading books on how to better manage every aspect of your life, financially, emotionally, relationship-wise, the relationships you have with people, how to manage all of these things. It's important, right? And the cool thing is that we can use semen retention to power this up. We can use semen retention. We can tap into that power. We can tap into that sexual energy, and we can use it. We can transmute it to becoming a better person. Now, here's a couple things you got to understand. I came across this song. I seen it a lot on social media, and it kind of just drove me crazy because I couldn't hear the words. I couldn't hear the lyrics, so I didn't know who was singing the song. But it was called "Wait for You" by Future, Drake. And I never heard the lyrics until like a couple days ago. And when I heard the lyrics, I'm like, aha, this makes a lot of sense. When you look at The Godfather, and I'll tie this all together. When you look at the movie The Godfather, you see Michael Corleone. He has his wife, Kate. She's, he loves her. He's committed to her. But it's only so much he can do for her because he has so much on his plate. He has to run the family business. He has to watch out for enemies. He has to watch out for foes. He has to make deals. He has to make money. He has a lot of responsibility. She has to be in a position to trust him. She ends up losing her, losing it. She gets frustrated. She gets upset. And she gets pregnant. He thinks she has a miscarriage. She didn't have a miscarriage. She actually aborted the baby. And this whole time he was thinking it was a miscarriage. And when she told him that, he immediately lost every ounce of compassion and love for this woman. And he completely shut the door on her because she turned her back on him. She turned her back on him, and she murdered his firstborn son. Or he murdered his son, right? And but she did it because she was in her emotions, and she thought by telling him that it was going to break him. But what happened was it destroyed her relationship with him forever, and she could never get back in his good graces. They met up a couple years later. She thought he was going to have a soft moment, and he never did. He slammed the door right in the face, right? Because he was standing on those principles, man. And when I go back and I listen to the song Wait For You, I was like, you know what? Every time I've been successful in life, and I am successful in life, but the times where I've had, seasons of just great success is always when I'm isolated. I'm not dealing with any women. There's no major woman in my life. And I'm focused on my mission and my goals. That's when I'm successful. The moment you let a female enter into your life and you begin to take your focus off of your vision, things begin to deteriorate. And you're not accelerating at the rate you should be because you're putting your focus on this particular person or these women, however you want to put it. Michael Corleone achieved a lot for his family, but he had to put that focus on those things. Like I told you guys before in another video I did, that you can never put a woman first. It has to be God. It has to be your work, your plan, your vision. And then a woman at best can be in the number 3 spot, but she can never be number 1 and she can never be number 2. If you want to accomplish great things. Now, if you want to be average, then you can have someone in your life and you can put them number 1 and you can make them your priority. But the moment you make them your priority, you're not going to accomplish much, bro. It's just not going to happen. So you have to be focused on your grind. You have to be focused on your goals. I know women, a lot of times it's hard for them to understand, that us as men, no one's coming to save us. You feel me? And if you want to accomplish something great, when it all hits the fan, that woman's not going to be there for you. She's not going to be there to save you. She's just not. Right? Because she's going to look at you in that moment as the man, meaning that responsibility is going to be put back on your shoulders. Don't ever trade the top spot, which is God, the second spot, which is your work from God, your gifts that he's given you, your vision, how you're going to impact the world. You got to have a woman that's going to be able to support those two things. Michael Corleone, you can see he loved his woman, but he had to devote most of his time to running the family business. He was great at controlling his emotions. He was great at being patient and watching things unfold. Even if he had an assumption, even if he had an inclination of this person being an enemy or this person being a foe, he would wait it out. He wouldn't jump to conclusions and do something hasty, end up making a mistake. He would wait it out. And this is how we have to be. As men, we have to be focused on our mission. We have to be in control of our emotions. Once you develop the ability to be able to control your emotions, you're unstoppable. You're unstoppable. I've been in these spaces before. Then there's been times where I've let myself out of these spaces, and you can't. You have to really stay one way as a man, and you can't get out of that frame of mind. You just can't, and you just gotta hope that you find a woman who is going to be there and understand the type of life you're living and how you gotta live it, right? And if she can't understand that, then it is what it is. But you would rather forsake her than to forsake your life's mission. That's a fact. Forsake her, but don't ever forsake your life's mission, because it's not an even trade-off. Some things and some people you just have to forget. You have to forget them. You have to shut the door and never open it again. You have to shut the door on them, and you got to be cold. That's just what you have to be as a man. You have to develop the ability to be cold as a rock. You have to be cold and heartless. And in some situations, you have to be heartless. Not heartless for the sake of being heartless, but heartless for the sake of the mission, for the sake of the goal, for the sake of becoming your best self. Never lose yourself. You will always lose yourself when you forsake your mission. But you'll never lose yourself as long as you stay committed to what God has put you here to do. If you guys get a chance, go check out The Godfather. Go watch it again. Let this be a lesson. Let this be a prerequisite for self-development while on semen retention. I really want you guys to pay attention to Michael Corleone and see what you can take away from his performance in the movie, and see if any of those things you can implement, practice, emulate, that can help better yourself, man. This is Hold My Nuts podcast, man. I love y'all. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll holler at you guys in the next one. Peace.